What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's going to be Q&A episode number 2, and towards the end of the episode we'll talk about my plans for the IS300 in 2023. Let's get into it. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like this video, share it on all the platforms, and if you like today's episode, subscribe. The other day, I asked you all on my Instagram and Snapchat stories to ask me random questions, so now we're gonna take a look at those questions, and I will answer them. The first question is from Augustine Empire _V2, and he asks, what are some aesthetic mods for the IS300 that won't break the bank? And my answer to you is
stickers.
You can get stickers literally anywhere for very, very cheap. Most of the time, I get my stickers from Car Drugs. They're pretty much at every show ever. They're very, very popular. They have tons of awesome designs and stuff. You can put them on your dashboard. You can put them on your windshield. Most of the time, people get their Instagram name on the sides of their windows. That's another route. Those are super, super cheap. I got this shirt from Misguided Media. He sent me this slap with this shirt and just in the package, just for being a customer. It's just little things like that, slap stickers. You can put them tons of places. I will say stickers, you can go overboard really fast, so just be careful. Unless sticker bombing is your thing, by all means. Another thing you can do is exactly what I did to mine. I went on eBay and I found the grill and window visors. Both of those total were less than $100, or maybe it was a little more with shipping, but super cheap. I love how they turned out. They look great on the car. And those are some things. Stickers and the stuff I've done are some great options for aesthetic mods that won't break the bank. He asked a second question, and that is, where is the best place in San Antonio to take pictures of your car?
I've never been there.
I have no idea. I can't help you there. I'm sorry. Next question is from Jay Tachi. He asks, what project do you have going on now? What project did you have previously, and what do you want to work on in the future? Right now I have the IS300. Previously I had the 3000 GT, but I couldn't really get anywhere because I kept spending all my money trying to keep it alive rather than put mods on it, so I sold it. And for future, I don't know. There's a lot of cars I want to own, and I want it to be manual. That's all I can really say about the future. Brandon Cardona asks, what do you think about the EcoBoost Mustang? I'm gonna be honest with you.
No!
I don't like it really. I don't. I think if you're gonna buy a muscle car, it's gotta be the V8. You can try to make your V6 sound like a V8, but you're gonna kill everybody's eardrums. Muscle cars should be big, obnoxious, loud, rowdy, big, angry, mean engine sounds that a V6, and definitely not a 4-cylinder, could achieve. Now, I will say, I have a newfound respect for the EcoBoost Mustang. I've driven one, it was manual, and they are pretty quick. I won't lie, they are pretty quick. And it's very interesting to hear a blow-off valve in the body of a Mustang. That's cool, but other than that, I don't really like them. While we're on the topic of muscle cars, Amy asks, will you ever get into muscle cars? I don't think I will. I do like muscle cars though. I do like them. The problem is, the ones that I like are really expensive. I like the old 60s Mustangs and Camaros and the 70s Chargers because I watched Fast and Furious. My first dream car was a 1967 Chevy Impala because I watched Supernatural growing up and I was hooked on that car. That's what I wanted. But the problem is, even with newer ones, like newer Challengers, Chargers, Mustangs, Camaros, they're all insanely expensive, and if I had to compare the prices of those to a 90s or early 2000s Japanese car that's easy to work on and maintain and buy, that are more accessible, I'm going to choose that. My wonderful girlfriend asks, when did you first get interested in cars, and what was the moment you knew cars was it? So there's a whole mix of things. Cars in TV shows and movies I watched, video games with cars in them. And I guess the biggest influence would be, shout out to two of my friends, Mason Tucker and Garrett Goins. They both had pretty cool cars. Mason had a RX-8 and Garrett had a Hyundai Tiburon. And at the time, comparing those to my big Mercedes yacht car, I thought those were the coolest things on planet Earth. But then again, at the time, I knew nothing about cars. And I thought they were just super cool. And they were modding them and having fun with them, and I wanted to join that. I wanted to have fun of my own. That, I guess, kick-started it. And then the moment I knew was the first time I went to Cars and Coffee, and I saw all the cars all over the place. That was the moment. A different Mason asks, gonna GTE swap it? No. However, I would love to boost it one day. Ashton asks, what got you into cars? Since I already answered that, I'll answer it a little differently, I guess more specifically. Have you seen the 2007 Michael Bay Transformers movie? And I think you know the scene I'm talking about. It's the part where Bumblebee is the old Camaro and he drives down the tunnel and then he turns into the new Camaro and he pops out and he's like all fancy new and shiny. That scene right there. My brain was like, oh, that's a cool car. And I guess that scene in particular has just stuck with me. Corey asks, are they difficult to keep up with and maintain? Honestly, no. 2Js are pretty solid. They're Toyotas. They're kind of known for being reliable engine manufacturers. I've said it before, their timing belt and harmonic balancer, those tend to go bad pretty quick. Keep up with those. You should be good. Your basic oil change and coolant keeps the engine pretty happy. It doesn't take a lot to make 2Js happy engines. DJ_DSM asks, what's the car scene like where you're from? Honestly, it's kind of like everywhere else. You got your good, you got your bad, you got your rice bowls and your Corvette dads. But the car scene here, take it with a grain of salt. It sucks. It's a bunch of drama. It's not about the cars anymore. It is what it is. Shit happens. Anyway, that is the last question I have. On to 2023 and my plans with the IS300. So with the 3000 GT, I just kept dumping money into it. It didn't even run half the time. I did get to make it to Riverside last year, but it just kept breaking. So I've set a goal as of right now, and I would really like to achieve this goal. I don't think it'll be very hard, but I'm gonna focus only on this. Wheels and suspension, ordered in, on the car, dialed in, by Riverside, Chattanooga, by the show date. I wanna have all that done by then. Everything else will eventually come in the future, but those two things are my main focus right now, are wheels and suspension. Anyway, that is all I have for today's episode. Thank you so much for everybody who participated and asked questions for today's episode. You made this episode possible. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video on all the platforms. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.